question, I can tell you how I entered the Chinese market.
Tell me about that. What is that? What does that mean?
Well, there was one time when I went to Taiwan with my father, and I thought it was just going to be a vacation. And because people knew that I was a musician and composer, a friend of mine said, "Oh, I'd like to introduce you to someone that I know at Decca Records." So went in there, meet and greet for about 3 or 4 minutes, shook hands, thought I'd never see him again. Well, 3 or 4 months later, he called me, and it was in the dead of night. You know, normally I work till 4 or 5 in the morning. That night I remember going to bed around 1 in the morning, and the telephone rings, and I pick it up, and he goes, "Ah, do you remember me? I'm Wang." I go, "Oh, vaguely," and he says, "Oh, we met in Taiwan." I go, "Oh, yeah." He said, "I'm in London right now, and I'm wondering whether you might be able to help me rearrange a song, because we just tried to finish a song, and we listened to the arrangement, and we don't quite like it. And could you do this song for me?" And I said, "Sure, okay." And he started humming the melody to me. He goes, "This is it. This is the melody. Can you go ahead and arrange it?" I go, "Really? Right now?" He goes, "Yes." So I kind of scribbled down the melody. And I said, "Okay, when do you need it?" Thinking it was probably going to be 2 weeks. He says, "Can we have it 2 days from now?" I go, "You got to be kidding. Really? 2 days? You want it in 2 days?" He goes, "Yeah, we need it sort of for a 40-piece orchestra." So I said, "Oh my God. All right." So literally I wake up, I start scribbling and arranging, and it turns out to be this song. And it turned out to be a song that was sung by pretty much like the Madonna of Asia. Her name is Wang. I hadn't heard of her, but it was a huge hit, and it won the Singapore Grammy in terms of Best Arrangement for me. And that kind of set my career, you know, and got the momentum going. And so a lot of Taiwan artists started calling me for this and that, and it led to going back to China and doing films. But that was really a huge, huge hit. And you know, I go into karaoke sometimes whenever I have a time to go with the directors or producers when I go back to China. And this is always constantly playing. I don't know whether you've been to karaoke bars, but not bars, but these massive buildings with like 100 rooms where all these people are singing. And sometimes the doors are open, and inevitably I hear the song being sung pretty awfully, usually, but being sung by somebody, because it's become a classic, and I take some pride in that, in knowing that the arrangement really helped the song. Well, this song is called 我愿意, which means I trust you, and a lot of people think that it's actually a love song, but the person who wrote the lyrics and the piece itself, it's a religious song, so it connotes, you know, your trust in God. So that's where it comes from, but a lot of people think that it's a love song, which is really nice. But it really became, I think I got the Grammy in 1997 or 1998 for arranging the song, Singapore Grammy, and it's quite meaningful to me. People often ask me, do I feel more American than Chinese, or do I feel more Chinese than American? And I have to say that it literally is split down the middle. It's 50-50. The only problem that I have, though, is my Mandarin. My Chinese is not very good. But I do very, very easily associate with the Chinese when I'm there. And my limited Mandarin does get me around and get me enough by so that you know, I can go around around shopping and things like that, and conversing. But when it comes to some technical aspects, I do kind of stumble, and it's much more comfortable if I have a translator there. But just in terms of my feeling about myself, I'm lucky because I think I can go back and forth in the two continents, on the two continents, and feel okay in both.
Do you feel like there are any fundamental differences in outlook between the two continents? Or not, there may not be.
I think there are fundamental differences because in my field of the entertainment industry, I find that things always get done in China. They always inevitably get done, and in fact I just finished a movie, 唐人街探案第二部, which is the Chinatown Detective, sequel number 2, that earned $548 million. That in itself would be impressive if it's an American movie, let alone a Chinese movie. So you can imagine how proud the director is of that movie, and I'm very proud of having been part of that. But it's always a scramble, working, and the working order is so different in China than it is here in America. America, they stick to sort of a set plan, but the Chinese are sort of all over the map. And that's not to say that it's a bad thing, it's just the way they work. But inevitably, they always get to the finish line. And it's just a different way of working. And at first, I was like, oh my God, what am I doing? I'm not so sure that I'm going to be able to make the deadline. But somehow, things do always work out in China in regards to the work schedule. It's just a different way of getting there.